Hi, welcome to this week's video blog at MonsterMortgage.ca. My name is Kristian Harris and I'm here with Casually Dressed President Don Beyer. Happy New Year, everyone. As most of our clients are aware, they receive a hard copy newsletter and an e-blast, e-newsletter, every year, 3 to 4 times a year. And usually the first one of the year is with respect to the interest rate outlook for the year, and it's probably a bit of Groundhog Day for you, but what is that, and what's the outlook for the year, and what's the reasoning behind that?
Well, the outlook for the year has been similar since 2009, when we suggested in the newsletter that we might be looking at up to 10 years of low interest rates. We were being a bit facetious when we said 10 years because no one can predict the future, and but our thoughts were that we have to stay in a low interest rate environment to get through the financial crisis. That's over and done with now, and we have a whole bunch of new problems to face. So it doesn't take a genius to figure out that there isn't a government in the world right now that feels very comfortable raising rates other than Russia, which has no choice. Certainly in North America, the US and Canada are both predicting very low interest rates. I think the 10-year bond yield today was 1.66%, and the 5-year bond is just over 1%. So the interest rate environment for 2015 is going to be very favorable again to Canadians.
So it's more of a global issue rather than just Canada or even the U.S. It's a bigger picture. Okay.
Well, and it's funny because, you know, when Europe was having all their problems and the States were having all their problems, it didn't seem like Canada was having any problems, because we had pretty much full employment, we had low interest rates, and we had a great housing market. And then, of course, Europe seemed to pick up steam a bit. It's now fallen back off, and the U.S. is picking up all this steam. And of course, all the money from the rest of the world is always looking for stability, and stability means the US dollar, which again drives down yields and drives down mortgage rates. So all the money is flowing in from all over the world into the US, and Canada is always the beneficiary of that.
Well, that's great insight behind why rates are not going to go anywhere, because you always hear people saying rates aren't going to go anywhere, but you don't get that second level of this is why, and so that's great. Don, you've sat down with many clients over your career, advising them financial planning, mortgage planning. If you were sitting down with clients today, what advice would you give someone, whether they're buying their first home or renewing their last term of their mortgage?
Well, the advice we've always given since we started the company in '97, and we switched the name to Monster Mortgage in 2004, is to always stay on the short end of the yield curve, the shortest end of the yield curve, which is a variable rate product. Our belief is, in a low interest rate environment like this, you should pay more on your mortgage if you can. Which basically means that if rates are prime minus 60 or prime minus 70, which are low twos, and you can afford to pay 3.5% to 4%, then we say in this environment, pay it. In a low interest rate environment, it's to the consumer's advantage to get rid of the debt as quickly as you possibly can. So, you know, if you're a first-time home buyer and things are really tight and you need sleep peace of mind, as they say, you want to sleep at night, sometimes taking a 5-year fixed, I'm only guessing today is around 3%, isn't a bad idea either, but there's nothing wrong with paying 2.3 or 2.4 and making payments at a higher amount, which goes directly towards paying down the mortgage. So that's always been the simplest advice to give a consumer.
Great, well that's very good, thank you. And on top of that, they can also increase your payments every year, slowly pay it down. If you want any more information, great insight, you can email us at info@monstermortgage.ca. If you'd like to email our president, you can email him at don@monstermortgage.ca. Thank you.